My little brother had been planning to end his life for 3 months, and the worst part was how many signs I had chosen not to see. My brother texted me at 2 a.m. on a Thursday and said he needed to talk. I saw the notification, rolled over, and went back to sleep. I told myself I'd call him in the morning. He was 24, he was fine. It was probably something that feels enormous at 2 a.m. and manageable by 9. I had work. I was tired. I went back to sleep. He called 6 more times before sunrise. I had my phone on silent. When I called him back at 8 a.m., he didn't answer. I left a casual voicemail, made coffee, got in the shower, got ready for work like it was a normal day, because in my head it still was. My mom called at 9:17. I knew from the first syllable she made that something had broken open in the world. My brother had checked himself into a psychiatric facility at 6 a.m. He had been planning to end his life for 3 months. And the one night he finally cracked the door open and reached out. I saw his name on my screen and went back to sleep. I sat down on the floor of my office hallway and didn't get up for a long time. The guilt didn't arrive all at once. It came in waves. The first wave showed me that night. The second showed me the 3 months before it. Every time he went quiet in a way I noticed but didn't chase. Every time I asked how he was and accepted fine without looking any closer. Every time I was too busy, too tired, too wrapped up in my own life to ask the question underneath the question. He had not been fine for a long time. And I was his older brother, the person he looked up to his whole life. And I had my phone on silent. I drove to that facility and sat in a waiting room for 4 hours before they let me see him. 4 hours of plastic chairs and bad lighting, and a guilt so heavy I could feel it sitting in my chest like something I'd swallowed wrong. When they brought him out, he looked smaller than I remembered. Not physically, just the way people look when they've been carrying something alone for too long. He sat down across from me, and I opened my mouth and nothing came out. He looked at me and said, "I didn't think you cared enough to come." I had to look at the ceiling for a long time after that. I told him the truth, that I saw his text and went back to sleep, and there was nothing I could say to make that okay, and I wasn't going to try. That I loved him, in the deep, unthinking way you love someone who has been part of your whole life, but that I had been treating that love like it was enough on its own. Like feeling it meant he could feel it too without me ever showing it. He was quiet for a while. Then he said, "I just needed you to answer." 4 words. I will hear them for the rest of my life. He stayed 12 days. I drove there every single one of them. Some visits we talked for hours. Some we just sat in the common room watching whatever was on TV without saying much at all. I started learning what he actually needed. Not what I assumed, but what he genuinely needed from me as a brother. He's doing better now. Not perfect. That's not how this works. But he's here. He calls me when it gets dark, and I answer every time. Middle of the night, middle of a meeting, middle of anything. My phone is never on silent anymore. I almost lost my brother because I was tired on a Thursday night. Because I told myself morning would be soon enough. Because I loved someone deeply and privately and forgot that love without presence is just a feeling you keep to yourself. He needed me to answer. I answer now.